do. So I'm gonna go over 4 master chains, right? I'll put like the rundown and the chart on the screen so y'all can kind of see what we're about to get into. Y'all can just pause the video and read over that. So yeah, let's go and dive into that right now. All right, so you know we got this beat, sounds pretty good. So now I've got chain 4 on it. Alright, so the first chain I'm going to go over is just either 1 or 2 fruity soft clippers. So for master chain number 1, you can do it 2 ways. Just throw a soft clipper on, turn the threshold up to about right there, and just kind of leave it. And you know, you can go through and like jack up the mix, you know what I'm saying? I don't prefer doing that, so whenever I use a soft clipper, what I do is I add another soft clipper on top of that one. Just ignore all of this. All of this stuff right here isn't active. I'm gonna use this later. So I'll add another soft clipper on top of that one. I'll turn the threshold all the way up, and then I'll just adjust the post so it'll hit really hard without me actually having to adjust the sliders. So yeah, that's chain number 1, easiest chain ever. Chain number 2 is either 1 or 2 limiters. So you can be super efficient and use chain 2 just by turning the attack, release, and sustain down, and then just turn the gain up. Another way to use it that is a lot cleaner is to use 2 free limiters. So let me open up 2. You're going to want to have them at the very bottom of your mixer. So open the top fruity limiter, turn down the attack, release, and sustain. This is extremely important. If you don't, it'll just compress. Turn off the kick. You're going to want to bring the ceiling down. It's this green knob right here. You want to bring it down as much as you can without just destroying the mix. You know what I'm saying? Like... Alright, so that's about right there for me. Bringing on the saturation, filling those dips that you see, those like top dips like right here, and that kind of cleans it up a little bit and gives it a nice saturation. So yeah, just turn the kick back on now and just kind of mess around with it. I can really control the punchiness of the kick. Alright, so I like it about right there. It's nice and dirty. So what I'm going to do with the second fruity limiter now, turn the attack, release, and sustain down just like normal. This is the fruity limiter on the bottom, just to clarify. It has to be the one on the bottom. Turn the gain up. So you see how like the purple line is kind of starting to, you know, get jagged a little bit? That's the point that you want it at. So yeah, I like that method a lot more. So yeah, that's chain 1 and 2. So the third chain is kind of where it gets a little complicated. So again, just ignore all this up here. Imagine it's not there or whatever. So what you're going to want to do is go to slot 6 and then add a plugin I like to use all the time. It's called Fresh Air. It adds like some high sparkle to your mix. It's like an exciter. I want it to be really crispy. So let me just turn up the mid and the highs a little bit. So we add a fresh air on it, right? And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the same thing as master chain 1. So copy my chain exactly. So we're gonna have 1 soft clipper right here in slot 7, turn the threshold all the way up, X out of that, open another soft clipper, and then, you know, just kind of put the threshold kind of wherever you want it, and then just leave it. And then open the other soft clipper and just turn it up. Alright, so I kind of wanted about right there. So I'm gonna just add a compressor after that. It's an RVOX compressor. I really like this compressor. I bring it down just a tiny bit. And then I just add an ozone. I use Master Assistant because I don't know how to do crap. And if you look down here, we're gonna change the order of all these effects in just a second. The reason I put in the ozone at the very end is because I want it to like analyze the audio while it's kind of like already maxed out. So it is gonna clip for a few minutes. Again, so just kind of follow me exactly. Alright, so what you're going to want to do is delete the maximizer. You don't want that. So we're going to mess around with the EQ. I'm going to just remove this and just kind of leave this the way it is. I'm going to delete the dynamics. Literally just bring these up. And then what I do is I just click on learn. And then I'm gonna just kind of go through and image it out a little bit. So I kind of want the low end to be more mono. So let me just bring that in like that. Just like that. So now if we move the soft clipper on top of the Ozone 8, it should stop it from clipping. And then we can just kind of adjust our post to where we want it. So that sounds pretty good. So let me just take all that off. And then we're just gonna work on our last master chain, which is a chain that I use the most. So basically you're just gonna start out with a Fruity limiter, the envelope knobs all turned all the way down. So now that I play this, the first thing I see is that it's already clipping. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring the gain down so it's not anymore. So now we're hearing the actual raw audio. So what I'm gonna do at this point is turn the kick off. And then just like I did with chain 2, I'm just gonna clip it pretty much. Then add some saturation to bring that down a little bit, just about right there. And then just bring the kick back in, you know what I'm saying? So after that, I just had a fresh air, the regular settings, and then I'm just gonna bring in the compressor, just like I did with chain 3. I had it at like 3 or whatever. Then bring in the Ozone 8. And I just did a master assistant. I just clicked on the master assistant and went for streaming, you know what I'm saying? This is my EQ right here. Boosted this, took out some of this. My dynamic EQ, I just kind of lessened it. With an imager, I did the same thing with the imager, and then a post EQ. What I did here is I clicked on the out key so I can kind of scan through the frequencies. So I did that, and I noticed that there's some really harsh frequencies in like the low end I wanted to kind of EQ out. So I wanted these frequencies right here kind of really push back, but I wanted just below that to kind of come up. So that's what I did there. And then I added a maximizer. So the maximizer, you're gonna always want true peak on. So yeah, I just kind of brought the threshold down. So yeah, this chain that you're looking at right now is pretty much the chain that I use in most of my beats. I like it because it's really versatile. I can crank the 808s up like in a little baby type beat and make it super distorted. I can kind of lessen everything and add some saturation. So yeah, that's how I make my drum smack. Just remember, there are no rules to this. It all really kind of boils down to sound selection. All right, so you know we gotta do the regular outro. I'm gonna see if I can like spice it up or something, you know what I'm saying? Like...